Assalamu alaikum everybody, and a very warm welcome back to the Arabic in 60 Steps channel, and of course a very huge welcome as well to all of you guys who are joining us on this journey for the Aladdin series. If you haven't been keeping up with them, it might be a good idea just to go back to number 1 and watch them all the way through, because it's very sort of accumulative. Sometimes I'll refer to things that we learned in previous lessons and stuff like that. So if you're new here, it'd be a really good idea to go back and check out lesson 1. But this is lesson 10, so we're very near the end. We're going to do 12 episodes. So we're going to do this one, we're going to do number 11, and then the 12th one, I'm going to find a date for it in November for us to do a live last episode. Then we'll also do an announcement as well for who has won the prizes as well. So just a recap of what the prizes are and how you can win them. The prizes are one of these mugs, either white or black, one of these Arabic in 60 Steps mugs, one of these jumpers, an Arabic in 60 Steps jumper. We can do it in white or black, or we can do a t-shirt for you as well if you prefer a t-shirt. Maybe some of you guys live in warmer countries or whatever, you don't want a jumper. And we'll also do you one of these Qur'an galaxy lamps as well. We'll send one of these to you as well. We can ship them all over the world. So yeah, wherever you are, we're going to send you all of that. So it's a whole kind of prize bundle worth about £100. So it's really cool. How do you win them? Well, for every single one of the videos in this series, there'll be 12 altogether. You need to like it, you need to share it, you need to comment on it, and you need to subscribe to the channel as well. So without further ado, let's get on with lesson 10. In the next lesson, so lesson 11, I will give you the details of a date we've decided on for our last ever lesson, and we'll do it live. And hopefully all of you guys can join us, inshallah. That'd be really, really nice if we could have quite a lot of people who come for the live video. I'll put the details for it on my TikTok, on my Instagram, yeah, as a YouTube post as well as on Facebook and stuff. So we'll make sure that you're informed. Good. So let's get on with it, okay? Let us have a look. So the title of this chapter is حيلة الساحر الإفريقي. So حيلة الساحري, rather. I think I said ساحرو by accident. حيلة الساحر الإفريقي. Very nice. So a hila. This is the hila of the African sorcerer or the African magician. A hila is a trick. If you play a trick on someone, but it can also be like a twist in the plot. So we'll find which one of those meanings fits the context more. I have the impression it'll be like a plot twist or something, but let's see anyway. فسأله الساحر. So فسأله. There's a few different things going on in here, but the sahir is doing فسأله. I had a student recently on the Arabic in 60 Steps program ask me about these fers on the beginning of words. I mean, as a rule, fa means so. As a rule, that'll serve you most of the time. And just like wa, meaning and, it joins, kind of bolts onto the beginning of the word as well. So this is so, sa'ala. Sa'ala means he asked. Hence where we get the word su'al, meaning a question. So he asked who? So he asked him. So the sahir asked him. I assume Alauddin. Good. أليس اسمك? Is not your name Alauddin? Is your name not Alauddin? Of course his name is Alauddin, so let's find out what he says. فقال له. So he tells him. So he says to him, نعم هكذا سماني أبواي. So نعم, yes, هكذا. As such, or like this. سماني, the verb سمى. I'm going to keep on trying to highlight these words as I go along. But semma means to name somebody. And it's usually spelt with an alif maqsura, right? It would usually be semma with an alif maqsura. But whenever you add one of these pronouns on the end, it turns it into an alif tawila. So semmani, they called me. Abawaya, so my two parents, right? My two parents called me by it. فقال له الساحر. So the sahir said to him, ألست ابن مصطفى? Are you not the child? Are you not the son? And ibn is a child of Mustafa. Are you not the child of Mustafa al-Khayyat? Yeah, are you not the child of Mustafa al-Khayyat? فأجابه نعم يا سيدي. So he responded to him. The verb أجاب, a form 4 verb, أجاب, يجيب, the present tense would be. Naam. So he responded to him saying, Naam ya Sayyidi. I mean, you know, sometimes actually the verb ajaba, especially in like more classical texts, the term ajaba in itself can mean to respond positively. You know, you might not even need to say naam afterwards, you know. I know there's one of the texts that we learn in the 60 Steps program. There's a conversation between two people. I can't remember who they are. It might be Khalid ibn al-Walid radiallahu an, and a bishop, I think. It's someone anyway. And the al-Baladhari, who's the one writing the story, he says فَأَجَابَ Khalid. And it doesn't mean that Khalid responded, it means he kind of accepted the terms of something. But anyway, that's a side note. Good, so where are we? وَقَدْ مَاتَ منذ عدة سنوات. Good, so وَقَدْ مَاتَ, and certainly he died. منذ, so منذ really means since or ago. عدة, a period of sanawat, a number of years ago is really what it's saying, right? So, yeah, so a number of years ago. He died a number of years ago. Oh no, فصاح الساحر. So the sahir صاح, the verb isn't fasaha. It's not to do with being fasih or being eloquent. It's fa, so صاح. The verb صاح means to call out. He called out. باكيا, he called out crying. Maybe he kind of let out like a sad wail. He was kind of crying. He was let out a call of crying. Ya Allah, هل مات مصطفى الخياط? Saying, oh Allah, has Mustafa al-Khayyat, has he died? Good. وحسرتا. I haven't seen that in a long time. وحسرتا. I'm not quite sure really the best way to sort of split that up, but it really kind of means like, oh how heartbroken I am. Oh how heartbroken I am. This wa at the beginning, that on its own can be used with other things. To kind of to exclaim about something, but wa hasarata, it's worth just underlining that and just saying like, oh how heartbroken I am. You know, that's really what it means. Good. Ayamutu wala arahu. Yamutu. This is like hell, right? It's what you use for asking questions. Yamutu wala arahu. Has he died and I did not see him? Has he died and I did not see him? This is another example, actually. As I mentioned it earlier, I'll mention it again. So the verb ra'a, to see something, is usually written with the alif maqsura at the end. But because we're adding the hu on the end, the him, it becomes an alif tawila before it, right? You can't have an alif maqsura and then something after it, right? Alif maqsuras can only be at the end of a word. Good. And so that's another example of kind of what we saw, as I'm saying, we saw it with samani, and we're seeing it here again with arahu. Just a good little rule for you to know about alif maqsuras. Good. So has he died and I did not see him? ثُمَّ عَانَقَهُ. So the verb عَانَقَ, your unuq is your throat, right? I always remember that because you pronounce your ayn from your unuq. Your unuq means your throat. عَانَقَ is this form 3 verb. They're often verbs that are kind of reciprocal somehow. So عَانَقَ, they necked each other. What it means is they hugged, right? The verb عَانَقَ, because when you hug someone, your necks touch each other, right? عَانَقَ. Good. I think there are other words for hug, but specifically عَانَقَ is particularly endearing because you've got to really embrace someone to go neck on neck, haven't you? Like there are kind of more there are more coronavirus friendly ways to hug someone if you were going to, but anyway, so they kind of embraced each other. وَقَبَّلَهُ. قَبَّلَ, really that would translate well as as he embraced him here. وَالدُّمُوعُ في عَيْنَيْهِ تَتَرَقَّقُ. Nice. So so وَالدُّمُوعُ. الدُّمُوعُ are tears. الدُّمُوعُ في عَيْنَيْهِ. So tears in his eyes. عَيْنَيْهِ, it's 2 eyes specifically. It's not عيون, it's عَيْنَيْهِ, in his 2 eyes. تَتَرَقَّقُ. So the verb تَرَقَّقَ, not تَرَقَّقَ, it's تَرَقَّقَ. Oh nice, it's one of those longer ones, cool. So the verb تَرَقَّقَ, it means to ripple, right? If something's it's rippling, use it for waves or whatever, but if tears are rolling down your eyes, you can say, الدموع في عينيه تترقرق. tears were in his eyes, rippling or streaming, and the author, as usual, has put some synonyms there. So taduru and tataraddadu. Very nice. So yeah, we have more explanation of how he's exclaiming as well. So وتأوه وتأوه. So ta'awwahu means sort of to groan, right? Like so he tears it in his eyes as he has sort of embraced Aladdin. Yeah, and he's kind of groaning in sadness. Shakar, the two synonyms is put in there. So shakar is to do with complaining. Yeah, to do with complaining, and tawajja. If tawajja means like you're sore in some way. You're sore. You're in pain. Good. وحينئذ, and then ذكر Alauddin mentioned عطف. This عطف, it means the lovingness maybe, or the kindness or something like that. أبيه عليه, so he mentioned the kindness of his father upon him. So how his father was kind to him. فبكاه مع الساحر, so he cried for him with the sahir, with this sorcerer. متألما, good. So this shares a root with the term for pain, for elem, right? متألما, so in pain. محزونا, and in sadness. He cried for him, meaning the father, meaning his father, with the sorcerer. متألما, in pain. محزونا, and sadly. The term huzn just means sadness, and this mahzun is in the maf'ul pattern, as we learn about in step 7 or something in the Arabic in 60 Steps program. Yeah, so that is everything for this lesson for not step, I'm thinking of the 60 Steps program, in lesson 10 in this series. In the next lesson, we are going to come down here, and we're going to do most of this paragraph, I think. I think we're going to go from al-ammul kadhib, al-ammul kadhib, and yeah, we'll go down to there where I am. So we're going to go down to nisyan al-huzni. I just mentioned the word huzn, didn't I, actually? Yeah, we're going to go down to there, and then in lesson 12, we're going to finish off that paragraph. So we'll be finishing page 13. So that's everything for this video. In fact, I'm going to record that one right now as soon as we're done with this, inshallah. And then in that next video, I'm going to announce what date we're going to do our final episode of the series, and maybe we'll decide as well upon a new text to do. Maybe if we want to do something from Qasasun Nabiyyin, we want to do something from the stories of the prophets, or we want to do maybe some of the travel writings or something that I always go on about. Maybe something from Ibn Fadlan or something from Ibn Jubayr. Maybe we could do something from Ibn Jubayr or something from Ibn Battuta, maybe. But we'll make that part of the discussion. I'll give you guys some options in the last live video that we do. So yeah, I'll see you guys then. Hope you guys have an amazing rest of your week, and I'll see you guys in lesson 11, which will be our penultimate lesson. Yep, so see you guys then. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.